On to race number 7 then. We had the trophy race. We finish off with 3 really good Class 3s. 1,200 metres for the 7th event on the programme, with the horse making his Hong Kong debut as well. But headed by Solomon's Bay, Zach Purton on board. A winner over this trip, 2 starts back, switches surface. So Silver Fig, course and distance winner, 2 starts back himself. Most beautiful 4th time last out behind Encore Boy. Flying Sword makes his Hong Kong debut. He was a winner in New Zealand before arriving. Team Fortune is first up since April. Good fresh up record as well. Magnificent, barrier 11. He likes to roll forward though. Aquila, odds-on beaten favourite at Happy Valley. Last time out makes his all-weather debut. And Star of the Harbour, for a mark of 60, is eligible for a lower class. Also makes his dirt debut. Most Beautiful and Team Fortune are the horses that have been up at Chung Fa in the last month.
OK, let's have a look at the speed here. And Flying Sword, the newcomer, who was quite well exposed in New Zealand. Does have some speed, no doubt about that. Aquila's got pace, so does Just Not Listening. And they're primarily the 3. Team Fortune, interesting runner. Hasn't raced since late April. He's had quite a lot of lameness issues. Goes in with no trial. Not a lot of other pace there, but the pace of Aquila and Just Not Listening shouldn't be that slow.
No, here's Solomon's Bay, the first one we'll look at here. Another one of Frankie Law, Zach Purton teaming up. This will be his 3rd start on the all-weather. Has been placed on the surface before, and the Frankles generally do go quite nicely on it, even though he is by Exceed and Excel, this one. He goes nicely there. A little bit of a little faux pas there. Nice save, though. Most Beautiful, the next one. He's under a good hold as he comes down. Another horse who has gone well on the surface before, Most Beautiful. He's been placed on it from his 7 starts, and he generally works nicely. And here's Aquila. Interesting, they're stepping him up to 1,200 metres. Joe Moreira aboard for his work. He's done most of the work on the horse, and he goes nicely as well. It was a beaten odds-on favourite last start.
I think, didn't enjoyable success. He's one on the dirt, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a Frankel.
So
that was I thought. But
they look nothing alike, but there you go.
But Exceed and Excels do go well on it.
All right, good stuff. We got there in the end.
Yeah, we did.
You saw the first 4 jackpots scrolling through as well. Let's go back to Solomon's Bay. This is his win. 2 starts back. Well held behind a good one, Chicken Dance, last time out.
He was, but this was a good performance. And there was a touch of cushion in that track too behind Chicken Dance, so I don't know whether that was to his liking or not, but off the basis of this, you'd have to give him some chance. He's got a nice draw, he's got the weight to carry. I think you've got a lovely run in transit, and with that in mind, if he goes around at 15s, I'll be throwing him into the exotics.
Yeah, I've got him in the numbers as well. It was Simply Brilliant was the one I was thinking of. Just to clear up any...
He does look a little bit more like him.
Yeah, just to clear up any problems there. But so look, in saying that, I think he's a good chance in this race. I've got him in there for that.
All right, so no matter how he's bred, he's going to go well. Yep. Just Not Listening here, run down by Silver Fig, still finished 3rd, and Most Beautiful involved as well.
I think he bottomed out a little bit here, Just Not Listening. He got a bit of hampering after the start, and then by the time they got to the corner, he was toast. You can see here the winner runs later on, Encore Boy. Silver Fig, I thought, did a pretty good job to still chase hard and only hold 3rd in the end. He tired late, and Most Beautiful ran on nicely too. So I think Silver Fig and Most Beautiful, if they get a tempo here, they've got to be considered.
Yeah, I got them both in. The only thing that I put Silver Fig in for 2nd because the draw is going to make it a bit harder for him. He's going to have to get back from 9.
All right, OK. Team Fortune next up for us. Put a bit of a sequence together on the dirt. A season or 2 back. We're looking him back in April because he hasn't had a trial coming into this.
No, he was lame back on the 7th of May with a right front problem, and then that led to some arthroscopy and so forth, and then he's had lameness both hinds and no trial, but he's capable on this surface, and Chris So is going to throw him in the deep end here first up off a very long break. But as you can see by that replay, very capable.
Yeah, he's in single figures still, which is quite interesting. He's an 8-year-old now, so I'm happy to go to see how he goes. I'm interested in Jenny's assessment.
All right. He's won off a mark of 78. He's on 70 at the moment.
Yeah.
So
he's well rated.
Yeah, we can see how he'll perform. Aquila next for us. Now, for me, he was disappointing at Happy Valley last time out. Switches surface, comes up in trip as well. If you can control it from the front, then maybe.
Yeah, well, we saw the pace. There's probably some pace from Just Not Listening who can sit outside of him. But you see they ran 1 minute 93, which is a reasonable time. Sonny Boyd, who was outside, Kobe Opera closing off. Big parties in this trial as well. So, look, we've seen it a fair bit in the last sort of couple of weeks. You know, these horses that lead, if they get pressure, they can certainly fold up in the end. I'm going to tip that he might.
Yeah, I'm going to go the other way just because of the weights. I reckon with his weight, He carries a light weight coming in. It's Flying Sword is the other one to have a look at. He's had 2 trials coming in. He's a big boy, Flying Sword, 12, 21 pounds. His all-weather trial here was okay. He's by Fox Wedge out of an American-bred mare. So he's an interesting runner for me. Me Choi trains him.
Yeah, I must admit I wasn't overly taken by the trial. I saw he was being shoved and pushed there a lot.
That was Little Giant in front of him, though.
That's true.
He's a nice horse. I've left him alone, though. I think we'll just watch, see what he can do. And Mr. Wealth, Manfred Mann and Regan Bayliss.
Interesting runner. Hasn't raced since March himself, where he got pulled up and obviously had a very bad bleed. But this is a nice trial from him. He closed off really well. He is a horse that has been placed on the all-weather. You know, bleeders can often be good first up. Interesting runner. Off the basis of the trial, I wouldn't pen him at all.
No, I agree. And he did go well on the surface overseas as well before he got here, so he's adept on it.
He's bobbed up at a price before in the past.
Well, he's not going to be, at the moment, he's not a price, 5.7.
No.
Yeah.
He is first up. Aquila the favourite.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Aquila. Joe Moreira sticks with this horse, and with the real light weight of 115 pounds, I'm going to go with him. He just meets the others well at the weight. It's barrier 1, so he won't have to work to get to the lead anyway. And to second, Silver Fig. Again, Joe Moreira rode him last time. Barrier 9 was the difference as well between the two and the weight difference. He gets back. He's going to have to make up the ground as Silver Fig. Solomon's Bay, the Exceeding Excel horse, I think he can go in a nice race as well.
Really, isn't he?
Well, he is now. From barrier number 4. Well, the Aquila's by Exceeding Excel as well.
Look at this, it goes on and on.
And most beautiful. I really like the way he hit the line. I thought he hit the line as good as Silver Fig last start. It was a good run from him. 11-2-1-3.
I think Mr. Wealth and Team Fortune both come up single figures. They're interesting runners in the race. I just came back to Silver Fig. Maybe he was, a touch jaded by that first up performance, which was dazzling, and he didn't quite find the line as well in the second performance behind Encore Boy. I'll give him another chance. I think he's a Class 1 horse, Silver Fig. So him to run over Aquila, Solomon's Bay, and Just Not Listening.
All right. I'll go with Aquila. The weight should make a difference, but as you say, he got some pressure at Happy Valley and he didn't like it, did he? So...
No, he hasn't broken 22 yet for his final 400. So that's concerning.
All right, but I have gone with him again. We'll see what he can do.
Yeah, maybe the surface is good.
Yeah, we will see. All right, that's race number 7 on our 9-race programme. It's an all-weather programme at Sha Tin on Sunday. Back with the 8th. That's up next.